Hello, this is Nikhil George,
And Cameron Brandt.
and we're going to show off our Project 3 61B Build Your Own World Gold Points features that we implemented. So let's just get started and run our program here.
Yeah, first thing we got here is in the main menu, we add another little section for press E to read the story. We got some lore here. In this game, you play a single brain cell in the mind of a 61B student. Your goal is to successfully unlock the productivity receptor in the student's brain and transport the motivation to start studying for the final in the student's brain. Watch out for the deadly thoughts of procrastination. Touch one of those, and you can say goodbye to your dreams declaring CS. Hint, some dead brain cells are movable and can be used to block enemies. So then after we're done reading this, we can start up the game like we normally do, just in the random seed. And then right off the bat, you can see we have these procrastination tiles. So those are our enemies, and they move in a set path. So when we're randomly generating the world, every room has a small probability of setting an enemy in that room. And those enemies get their directional randomly selected, whether it's going to be vertical or horizontal. They're going to bounce back and forth between those walls, and it's a timestamp based on like when we move our player, so you can kind of see if we stay still, they stay still. But then they also have a small chance for every room to have these dead brain cells, so the little triangle ones, and those are actually movable objects where you can kind of interact with the enemies. And so since you can't really defend yourself, you can push those around, and the pushing mechanic is really just, you know, when our player moves onto one of those tiles move over one in the same way that our player moves here. And then, Nikhil, you can talk about what we do here with the key.
Right. So, like Cameron said, we randomly generate the world and we kind of pick and choose based on a random chance. Okay, are we going to put a dead brain cell here? Are we going to put an enemy here? And so we choose kind of a similar process for deciding where we're going to put the key in the door. We decide every room we roll, is there going to be a key or a door in here? The key and the door cannot be in the same room. And the roll kind of happens. Because there's like a random chance that the key and the door don't really spawn, there's like another program that runs after the world is populated that checks to see if there's a key in the door. And then based on that, it will like randomly spawn a key or a door, depending on which is missing, in a floor tile. And it aims to kind of move it like farther away from the other one if that exists. It kind of like goes from point A to point B or B to A, depending on the parameters of the world. So like Cameron explained, the three features of our gold point implementation is our enemies, our little movable tiles that the user can interact with the world with, and our lore in the menu. And so our win condition is to get this key is motivation to study. And we also have a lose condition. I'm going to save the game right here real quick to show this off. So game saved. Let's say we go into one of these procrastination tiles. Boom, we lose. Our GPA drops to negative 4.1, unfortunately, which is actually totally fine because grades are not a reflection of your self-worth. So restart to try again. We try to give our game a little positive spin on the 61B. So let's try our luck again. This time we'll be more careful of these procrastination tiles. There we go. And so let's go to this open brain synapse. Careful to avoid these guys. And then boom, holy moly, you did so well on the final that you passed the class with more points than there are available in the course. Incredible work. However, throughout the course of your journey, you learned that grades aren't everything and that the real treasure was the friends you made along the way. Restart to try again. So yeah, all in all, I think that is everything in our project. Just to reiterate, our three features are the lore, the enemies, and the movable objects. And our win condition is the key door kind of gameplay mechanic that we have going on. A little interesting, again, I think tidbit in our presentation we want to include is what we would include if we had more time. I think a cool feature would be to spawn the boulders, the movable objects, based on where the enemies are, more so than they currently are. I think right now, if an enemy is in a room, there's an increased chance that you'll have a rock in that room to kind of play around with and block that enemy. But we thought it'd be cool if, depending on the width of the room and the obstacles you find around you, you could generate rocks in different ways so that you have more tools, and also more of a risk, if you don't want to block yourself off or push a rock into the wrong place and screw yourself over. So just a little tidbit for thought. Obviously, we don't have all the time in the world, but yeah, those are our goal points. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.